Hello everyone. Today we cover Excel functions and formulas. We'll have a deep understanding of the basic and advanced functions of Excel. Here is an example of a dataset that I downloaded from Kaggle, the bank chart sample. Then from here I have different worksheets with the different functions that we're going to cover today. So let's begin with the fundamentals of Excel. So rule number one is every time you are using a function or formula in Excel, you always have to use the equal sign. So for example, here I want to know the total for these countries, Uganda, Kenya, Burundi, Tanzania. So to get the total, I can put an equal sign. Then I select the revenue for a country. Then hit the plus sign, add Kenya, hit the plus sign, add Burundi, hit the plus sign, and add Tanzania. Then I press enter. Then I'll get the result. That is one way of getting the totals. Another way is using the sum function, which is more convenient. Now, without even hard coding the values, the sum function, I just put in the equal sign, then sum function, then I select from here, then I close the parentheses, then I press enter. I'll get the same value. This is far better than hard coding the values themselves, where you have to select the different cell value so that you get the sum. All right. Now, since I've gotten the value, the total value for the revenue, I can drag this to autofill it. Then I'll also get the cost right there. Okay. You see, I can see the formula in here. All right. So I want now to get the profit. Before I get the profit, I will put an equal sign. Then I say because profit is revenue minus cost. So this is revenue minus cost. Right there. Then I press enter. Then I'll get the profit. Then I can autofill this by dragging the insertion point up to there. And I'll get the profit. Now, to get the tax, I'll have to, since this is the tax rate, I'll put an equal sign. Then I say tax times the profit. Then I press enter. Then I'll get 10. I can also autofill this by dragging up to Tanzania. All right. Now, you notice on Tanzania, I got 0. And yet on Uganda, I got 10. Now, this is originating from absolute referencing and relative referencing. When you look here, you'll see that the tax rate is H3, which is this one here. But when I come to Kenya, I get I3, which is this one here. Meaning, it is considering the tax rate to be right here. And on here, there is 0. So, to change this, I'll have to absolute reference H3, column H3. And to do that, I just come and click here, and I put the dollar sign. That is the column, and also on the row, I put a dollar sign. Then I press enter. Now, if I drag this, I'll be able to see the tax rate. There we have it. So that is the tax rate. All right. So I can also use different ways to get the functions. I can just click here. Then I come to formulas. Then I say insert a function. From here, I can see different functions. I can see the most used ones, the most common ones are SUMIFS, which I've been using currently. You can see most recently used. But from here, I can select all to see the different functions. I can select financial to see financial functions. I can also select time, date and time to see date functions. You see day, end of month, like that, the different functions in here. So if I go back to most recently used, and I select sum, the function will be input, and it will show you from C3 up to C7, and I press OK, and I'll be getting the total. This is the total. Okay, now there's a shortcut of just seeing the totals. I can just select this whole column. Then from here, I'll see sum, I'll see count. Count will be counting for me the different cells that have values. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's counting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's giving me the average. From here, I can right click. I can right click and see the different functions I can get. You see, I have average. I can also still see I have sum. I can click this to add it. You can see maximum is in here. Okay, so from here, if I selected this and I'm able to see maximum sum, I can just click on max. Then I select a cell where I want to paste, and I'll be able to paste the value. You can see that. So I've just copied and pasted the max value from this bar down here. I can also do the same for sum. I just click on it, then select a cell and paste, Control V, and I'll be able to get the sum. That is one way of getting the different values from different functions using shortcuts. Let's cover basic functions in Excel. Now, I just created a simple table here of staff and estimated salary. So these are the questions. Now we want to know the total salary. Now, to get the total salary, we'll use the same function as sum, open parentheses, then select this from Alice to Eve and close the parentheses, then press enter. So from here, you can see this is the total salary. I can come click on home, then choose this comma so that I'm able to see the values very well. I can also use this decimal, decrease the decimal to remove the decimal places like this, and you'll see the decimal places have been removed. Yes. So to find the highest salary, I'll put an equal sign, then write max function, then select the salaries. I can select the whole column or just the values. Let me select the whole column, then close it. I press enter. Okay. Now, to read it clearly, let me put the comma so that I'm able to read it very well. And now it is 146,757. Okay. Now, the list salary, I will use mean, equals sign mean, then select the column, close the parentheses, press enter. The mean salary is this. Okay. So now, second highest salary. To find the second highest salary, I'll use a function called large. I write equal sign, large. Then I select the array. Okay, this is the array right here. Then I input the value. I want the second highest. Then I write 2. Then I close the parentheses, and that's it. So this is the second highest salary. All right. You can see it is second to the highest, which is this one here. All right. Now, the second least salary, I'll use the function called small. Small, which is this. Then I choose the array. Then I choose 2. Depending, I can choose the third, I can choose the second, I can choose the fourth. Then I close the parentheses. Okay, there we have it. Okay, I use the comma so the value is readable. Number of salary. This one will require to count, like how many salaries exist. I read the equal sign, then I say count. Then I choose this. I close it, that array, and it will count for me 6. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, there's a difference with count and count A. Some other functions that we're going to cover. If I wanted to count the number of staff, I will not use count. I'll use count A. So let me try it here and say equal sign count. Then I say select this array and close it. It will give me an error. So it's giving me 0 because it cannot count categorical variables. Now, let me use count A and you see the difference. Count A. Then I select the array and close it. See, it's giving me 7. It's counting from all up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right. To be able to count 6, I'll just right click, count A, then select where the names start from. Then I close the parentheses. It will give me 6. All right. Now, average salary, I'll put an equal sign, average, then I write average, then I select the salary. I can select the whole array or I select the values. Then I close the parentheses and that's it. So this is the average salary. Okay. I can also find the average salary by going to formulas, then choosing average. Like how in the beginning, how I showed you how to do it. Equal sign, write average. Okay. Then go to formulas and function, then insert function. Then from here, I can select the numbers. These are the numbers. Okay. Then I say, okay. It will give me the same value. All right. The most common salary. Now, the most common salary, this is the mode. Now, to find this, I write equal sign, I write mode. Now you can see, when I see this, meaning my Excel does not have the mode function. But that means I'll have to use Excel 365, Microsoft 365, which I don't have in here. But if you have Microsoft 365, you'll be able to get the most common salary. But let's get the median salary. Median salary. I'll put an equal sign, write median, then select the salary and close the parentheses. Then it will give me the median. This is the middle salary. Okay. These are some of the functions, the basic functions that we can cover for now. So let's go to conditional functions. Now, these conditional functions are very important. You'll use them most of the time in analysis. And they're the main functions in Excel that can help you manipulate data. Okay, so let's use the SUMIF function. Now, SUMIF function, the conditional functions are based on a criteria or condition that you want to filter with. For example, let's say we want SUMIF, sum for me from this table, the estimated salary for all female staff. Okay, so I'll come and put an equal sign. I write SUMIF, then range, to tell you the range. Now, just in case these functions are not clear, I can write SUMIF, then I come to insert function. Now it is telling me the range. Now the range is this one here, gender. The criteria is what I want, the condition, which is female. And the sum range, I want it to sum for me the range of estimated salary. So I click here and choose estimated salary. You can already see right here that I'm on the right track and it's giving me the value already. So I say okay and will input the value. Now there's a difference between SUMIF and SUMIFS. SUMIF is based on one condition or criteria. SUMIFS is based on more than two condition or criteria. So let's try that. I'll write equal sign SUMIFS. All right. Now I can input the range, the criteria, but I'd suggest you come to insert function so that everything is clear. Now, sum range, it is telling you sum range. Now, this is the sum range because these are the values you want to sum. So I select sum range. Then criteria 1 is this column gender. And if that is the criteria, the array, criteria range, then the criteria is I want from this gender array to pick for me only female. Then I select female. Then criteria 2, I want geography array. I select this. Then from geography, select for me female from France. So to select female, to select France, females, and estimated salary. So I choose France. It's already giving me the values here. I've used more than one criteria. Then I press OK. You can see it's giving me the value. To read it better, let me include the comma, the decimal comma, then remove the decimals like that so that it is readable. All right. Now, average if is the same as how SUMIFS functions work. I write equal sign average if, okay, come to insert function formulas, insert function, range. The range is what I want. The range is from right here, gender. The criteria, I want only male this time. Average range, I want estimated salary. It's already giving it to me here. Then I say, okay. All right. The same applies to average ifs, where I'll use more than one criteria or one more condition. I write equal sign average ifs. Okay. Then I come to insert function, average range. Okay. Average range is what I want. Criteria is the gender. What gender do I want? I want female. Criteria range 2 is the geography. What do I want this time? Spain. Sorry. Criteria range is this geography. Then criteria is Spain. It's giving the value here. Then I say okay. We can prove this. An example for the SUMIFS. What did we want exactly? SUMIF. We can filter and say we want female only. Filter female. Okay. Then the country that we want. Okay. Select the country we want. So let's filter female. What country do you want? We want France. You can see the value is right here. So when I select this, I see the value is here. Okay. Select this. And there we have it. The same value. Okay. So let me remove the filters. I go back to the normal settings. Okay. Now count if. Count if it will count for me basing on different criteria. Count if. Okay. Range. I can come to formula, insert, range, count for me. Okay. count for me. Let me choose this. Criteria, female. How many females are within this gender array? It has already given it to me, 144. Okay. Now, count ifs. We're going to use more than one condition. Count ifs. Okay. Come to insert function. Criteria range. Let me choose gender. Count for me when it is male. Criteria range 2. Geography array when it is German. I can add other criteria, but this is where I'll stop. It is already showing me 52. 52. Okay. Now, you can prove this by going through the filters and see if we get the same values. I'm going to share this data set on my YouTube channel so that you'll be able to access it and manipulate it for your understanding to practice and get all these functions. The same applies to the mean ifs. Okay. Mean ifs. Sorry. Mean ifs. Mean ifs does not have mean if. It's not based on one condition, but you can use mean ifs to based on one condition. Okay. Come to insert function. Mean range. We want this. Criteria range. Choose the gender array, and criteria is female. It's already giving me the mean. Okay. Okay. There you have it. So these are conditional functions that you can learn so far in Excel. Now next are text functions. Text functions in Excel are very important because they used to manipulate data. Okay, our first function is the left function. Now the left function helps count the number of, it helps eliminate characters from the left. Okay, let's see how it works. Right equal sign, right left, select the text, then write how many characters you want. Let me put 3. Then I close the parentheses. I press enter. You see, it's counting left. This is the function here. Left is counting from the left 1, 2, 3, and stops right there. So sometimes you may, just in case you want to see a function, a formula or function you have used, you just have to come right click, write formula text, then choose where the formula is and close. And you'll be able to see the formula or function that you used. All right. Now, write will be able to show you characters right on a text. Okay, equal sign, right. Choose the text. Choose the number of characters, 4. Close the parentheses. Here it is showing us from the right, counting, eliminating characters, keeping characters from the right, and eliminating the ones on the left. Okay. Now, the len function helps count the number of characters within a text. Right equal sign, write the len, choose the text, close parentheses, and press enter. It's counting. There already 10. Is a function that is used to join text. It's the same as text join. Now, to use concatenation, I'll put the equal sign, concatenate, concat. Then I choose the text, which is this one here. I put a comma. Then the single colon, put a space. Then another full colon, put a comma. Then choose analysis. Then close that. Then I press enter to join the text, data analysis. Okay. The trim function works when you have when you have a text that is not well arranged. Now, when you look at this text here, you will see there's character at the start, there's space at the start. You can see that. You see that. So the trim function helps remove any exceeding or improper spacing. So I put equal sign, trim, choose the text, then close the parentheses and say enter. You see, so now it has organized the text it has put the text in a proper structure. Now, during analysis, if text is in this format, you'll be getting errors from the text because it will not be able to tell that the text exists. So it's always a good practice to trim any exceeding or underlying space values within a text. Okay. Now we come to upper. Let's imagine we have a text data, and now we want upper will change the text's format to uppercase, where lower function will put a text in lowercase, and proper will put the whole text in proper format. Okay, so equal sign upper, choose the text, close the parentheses, see it has put it in uppercase. I can, to put it in proper case, I right click, proper, then choose the text. The first letter will be an uppercase. See that? If the text was data in uppercase and want it in lowercase, write equal sign, lower function, choose the text, close the parentheses, and we get it in lowercase. All right. Now, understanding the substitute function. Substitute function, write equal sign, substitute, choose, this is the date format. Which character do we want to substitute? We want to substitute the forward slash. Okay. We want to substitute it with a dash. Close. Now, it is giving us the date in this format. It's giving it in form of a text. But to change it into a date format, I'll use another function called text equals text. Choose the value, put a comma, then choose the format I want. Y. That means year. Then I put the month. Then I put the day. Okay. And there we have it. Okay. I can also change this by coming to home and choose date, short date, or long date. But this may not work. Or I can right click and say format, cell. Then I choose the type of date format I want. It may not work because it's recognizing it as a text. So this is the best way to change it into a proper date format. Let's look at logical functions. Now I want to see if Frankie's salary is more than 8 days. So to do that, I write equal sign if function, then I say Frankie's salary, which is this one, is it greater than 8 days? This is 8 days salary. Then if it is true, give me yes. If it's not, I get no. Then I press enter. So it's giving me no. You can see Frankie's salary, 8 days salary is higher than Frankie's salary. Okay. I can also use using the AND function. Is Frankie's salary more than all the employees? Now to do that, I put equal sign. I say if. Then I come to function helper and I say and. Now for the AND function, everything has to be true. For me to get to know that Frankie's salary is more than all the employees, then everything has to be true. So I open the parentheses and I say Frankie's salary, is it greater than? Else it is saying is also already showing true. I put a comma, then I say is Frankie's salary greater than Eddie's? It is showing false. Then I add is Frankie's salary greater than Chris's? it is showing false. I put a comma. Is Frank's salary greater than Walter's? It is showing false already. Here, I put a comma. Is Frank's salary greater than Eve's? Okay. Then I close the parentheses. So if it is true, then I'll get yes, Frank's salary is more. Yes. And if it's not, then I'll get no. Then I say okay. So it's giving me no because we're using the AND function. The AND function, all the variables have to be true. Okay. Now, the same applies to O here. O, one of the criteria have to be, one of the criteria or conditions have to be true. Now, I can just copy this function here, the way it is, and paste it here. Okay, put an equal sign and paste it here. Then remove the second equal sign, and instead where there is AND, I put O. It will give me yes. O function works on when either of the conditions is true, it will give you a positive result. All right. So let's look at nested if. Now, nested if, what is Chris? What is the salary of Chris? Now, to know Chris's salary, I'll say equal sign if function if Chris is equal to Alice, give me the estimated salary. Put a comma and I say if Chris is equal to Frank. So if Chris is equal to Frank, then give me this salary. I put another if. This is a nested if. If Frank is equal to AD, okay, wait just a moment. If this Chris is equal to AD, then I get salary. I add another if, nested if. If Chris is equal to Chris, then I get if Chris is equal to Chris, then I'll get salary of Chris. I add another nested if. If Chris is equal to Walter, then I'll get this salary. Okay, I add another nested if till all the stuff are finished. If Chris, okay, it's missing a parenthesis. If Chris is equal to if, then I should get this salary. Then I close the parentheses. One thing we should note is that if when we're using nested ifs, all the parentheses from here, this color, should all be included. And the good thing with Excel, it will be showing you the parentheses as you close them. You see, this color is the same as this last one. Then it will give me this other color here. Then it will give me this color here, green. Then it will give me this color here. Then it will give me this color. And finally, it will give me black, showing that the function is complete. So I press enter. So it will give me Chris's salary, which is right here. Okay. Now, instead of using nested ifs, multiple ifs, we can use one single if called ifs. Ifs. We can use the ifs statement. Okay. Ifs. If this Chris is equal to Alice, then I get salary. Else, Frank is equal to Chris, then I get this salary. Else, if this is equal to Chris, then I get Eddie's salary. Else if Chris is equal to Chris, then I get Chris's salary. Else if Walter is equal to Chris, then I should get Walter's salary. Then again, if Eve is equal to Chris, then I should get Eve's salary. Then I close the parentheses. See, I get the same value. So that's how we use nested ifs. Now, I prefer using this nested if, the ifs, instead of the multiple ifs. All right. So let's look up at lookup functions. We have the VLOOKUP, which stands for vertical lookup, XLOOKUP, and index match. So let's look at VLOOKUP. I write equal sign VLOOKUP. I select it here. If it's confusing me, I use the function helper. Then I say lookup value. Which value are we looking up to? Which value do we want? Okay, we want Alice. Okay, and which table? We select the whole table. Okay, the column index. Now, column index is the value that we want. Do we want estimated salary or we want credit score? We want estimated salary, and it is on column A, B. It's on B. So this is 1, 2. So I put 2. Okay, it's already giving me the value here. Okay, so I just press OK. It gives me the value here. Okay, now the disadvantage of VLOOKUP is that every time you're using it, the value that you're looking up should be at the start column here compared to XLOOKUP. Okay, if I tried to say, if I had other columns here and I want to look up from this other side, it won't be able to work because VLOOKUP only works best when the value that you're looking up to is at the start here. Okay, let's try XLOOKUP. Equal sign XLOOKUP. Then come to function helper. It is saying lookup value. What value do we want? We want lookup AD. Okay, lookup array. This is the array. Return array. We want estimated salary right here. If not found, okay, we can just ignore this and say okay. See, it returns the value. Okay, the value is different because here we looked up at Alice, which we can change to F4 and see. Yes, you see, we get the same value. Let's do the same for index match. Write equal sign index. Okay, the array. Okay, we want salary. Match it. Lookup value, we want AD. Lookup array is this. Then we can put exact match by putting a 0, then close the parentheses. Sorry, the parentheses are supposed to be 2. There we have it. Okay, these are the parentheses which are supposed to be 2. I got an error because I included 1. There we have it. Okay, so I prefer using index match or XLOOKUP compared to VLOOKUP because VLOOKUP has limitations. Its limitations is that the value that you're looking up for should be here at the start compared to XLOOKUP and index match, which don't follow that criteria. All right, so let's look at date functions. Now, sometimes you want to include date in your tables. And to do that, you write an equal sign and put today, then today function. There we have it. It's giving us today's date. Now, when you use the now function, it will give you today's date and a timestamp. So it will give you today's date and timestamp. All right. Thank you for following up this tutorial. I'll be coming up with more tutorials in R, Excel, Power BI, SQL, and Power Query. Please look up for this channel for more tutorials coming up. Thank you.